and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Wednesday, 27 August. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Trump says he's still weighing economic sanctions for Russia. The US has approved the potential sale of F-35s to Poland, and France is plunged back into political crisis after the PM's no confidence vote backfires. So firstly, President Donald Trump said on Tuesday he was prepared to impose economic sanctions against Russia if the president, Vladimir Putin, fails to agree to a ceasefire in the war in Ukraine. It's very, very serious what I have in mind if I have to do it, but I want to see it end, Trump told a reporter who asked if Putin would face consequences. We have economic sanctions. I'm talking about economic because we don't want to get into another world war. So what? It seems highly unlikely that Russia or Putin are going to actually do anything until there's some consequences for their actions. So far, they've got away with these delay tactics for literally Trump's whole presidency. As he said, he would end this war on the first day, which, clearly didn't happen and clearly was an impossible task. But he's been threatening these serious economic sanctions since, at least a few months ago. And Putin has continued to just pretend to play ball when it comes to peace negotiations without really taking any steps. It's pretty wild to see him just Trump continue to say the same stuff. And it's really kind of making him look like a bit of a pussy. But, when it comes down to it, Trump doesn't really have too many options left. And if he uses all his options, then there's nothing more they can really do to Russia. And I think Russia doesn't think they have much economic leverage left. So they're probably waiting to see what will really happen. Their economy is absolutely in the mud. So the only real thing, I've mentioned it way too many times at this point, is threatening to sanction countries that buy Russian oil. That could stop India and possibly China from purchasing Russian oil and really shut down their oil trade towards the end. You could also use the US Navy to blockade the transportation of oil out of certain ports, which would also seriously inhibit Russia's ability to make money. And next, the US State Department has approved the potential sale of sustainment and related elements of logistics and program support for F-35 jets to Poland for an estimated cost of $1.8 billion, the Pentagon said on Tuesday. The principal contractor of the sale will be General Electric Aerospace, the Pentagon said in its statement. So I thought this was the sale of new F-35 jets, which I was quite surprised by, as Europe seems to be turning away from buying US, especially US fighter jets, in exchange for buying European ones. But if this is just part of sustainment and logistics, that makes more sense, as, they already have the hardware, so they kind of need to continue to support it. This is a pretty big win for General Electric. I'm sure Trump will try and sell this as a win for the US economy, and that his tough stance on Europe and NATO coming through. But Poland are pretty pro-military at this point, and they're going to always need to, support their F-35s if that's the fighter jets they're currently using. But okay. Random. Not as exciting as I thought it could be. And lastly, France has found itself in yet another political crisis on Tuesday after the Prime Minister's gamble to win backing for his deeply unpopular debt reduction plan backfired, plunging the country deeper into political and financial instability. The French markets tumbled after the Prime Minister jolted the political establishment out of its summer slumber on Monday with an unexpected move to seek a September 8th no confidence vote on his debt-cutting plan. His proposal was roundly rejected by opposition parties who said they would relish the opportunity to cut short his minority government's time in office. So what? France hasn't had a stable government in years now, I believe. This is the most recent failing of probably like 3 or 4. This one lasted a bit longer than others have, but again, it's collapsed in a no confidence vote. So, not a great look for the country, and also not a great way to move forward. The biggest issue they've faced is the ability to come up with a plan for cutting debt and spending in the country, with some proposals being like cutting public holidays or cutting pensions or extending the retirement age, all extremely unpopular with the French population. But, they have to do something. They're like most countries, absolutely debt-laden up to the gills and with no way to pay it back. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but I don't see France is going to have another election, I think. One that the right-wing party, I forget their names, are probably going to win, as they're miles ahead in the polls, as France faces the same issues that every European and Western country face: housing, immigration, and cost of living. So, yeah, I guess this means they'll probably look for another election or possibly try another government. But, I mean, this is like the third or fourth one that's tried and failed. So I don't really know what other options they have left at this point. Thank you for listening to the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.